Advance collection, and also my Game Boy Color collection, because I only have 2 Game Boy Color games, so I might as well fit them in here. I do, I'm gonna say it beforehand, I do want to get more. I just, did not really. I got the Game Boy Color pretty late in its life. Actually, I've never had a Game Boy Color, only a Game Boy Advance, so that's why I only have 2. But yeah, let's start with the Game Boy Color, so we can, do the consoles in chronological order. First, we've got The Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages. I did not play much of this game. I did play a little bit, but I did not play much about it because I got this at the same time as Pokemon Crystal. Sadly, though, I don't have Pokemon Crystal anymore. It's one of those games that got, well, not really lost, but because when I was in high school, our house got flooded, so we had to get rid of pretty much all of our furniture to get new one. But the company that was picking up our furniture, they just looked, as far as my stuff, I had a big, like a 6-jar thing, furniture, I don't know what they're called, just jars, I guess, and pretty much, they checked the top 2, which were empty, and then they were like, okay, it's empty, let's take it, but the bottom 2 were not empty, and I had a bunch of games in there, and Pokemon Crystal is one of the games I lost that way, one of the other one being Ocarina of Time. But yeah, so because I got this at the same time as Crystal, wow, I didn't actually play a lot of this. I definitely will at some point, though. I would like to eventually play every single Zelda release, or at least, the ones released by Nintendo, not counting the CDI games in this. But yeah, Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages. Next, we've got Pokemon Silver. Now, back then, first of all, I didn't speak English at all, and I didn't have internet, so I didn't know much about Pokemon at all. So when I bought this, I was like, oh, I have Pokemon Crystal, that was fun, let's buy this other Pokemon game. So you can imagine my surprise when I saw, by playing it, that it was pretty much the same game. I was so disappointed. But then eventually, like I said, I lost Pokemon Crystal. So when I went back to play 2nd Gen, which, by the way, Gen 2 is my favorite gen. Well, I guess now the remake of Gen 2 is my favorite, but this has been my favorite gen overall. But when I went back to replay it, I played it through this one, because I didn't have Crystal, but I did have this left. But still, it's Pokemon. You all know what Pokemon is like. I don't really need to explain that. But yeah, that's Pokemon Silver version. Alright, now for the Game Boy Advance. First of all, we've got Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku 1 and 2. I don't actually remember a lot about this game, and you're probably getting used to me saying that if you watch many of my videos, but I do remember that it was pretty fun. It's like an, action not side-scrolling, just an action adventure RPG, it's not really RPG, but it's not a fighting game, and that's rare for Dragon Ball games, and I really enjoy this, because I'm not the biggest fan of fighting game, but I do like Dragon Ball Z, so it was fun to get to play non-fighting Ball Z. And this is 2 games in 1, so that's cool. And next is Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. Again, the same deal as the last one. It's, an action adventure kind of game, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, the next 2 games go together, so I'm just gonna show both at once. Now we've got Golden Sun and Golden Sun: The Lost Age. So these games were pretty much my first introduction to JRPGs, and obviously at the time I did not know this was a JRPG. I didn't know about genres or anything like that. To me, a game was a game, and they just all played differently, and that was it. But yeah, still, ever since I've played this game, I've been a big fan of JRPG games, and I still am to this day. I know in the first game you play as 4 people, and in the next game you play as 8 people. Like, you have 8 team members, including the first 4. I'm not gonna talk about the story, because while I know this game is old, there's obviously people who have not played it yet, so I don't want to spoil it. But I really enjoyed playing it. I enjoy the traditional turn-based kind of combat. I think it's fun, and there was some pretty hard puzzles in there too. At least hard for Kid Me. I don't know if I'd still find it hard, but chances are yes, because I'm not very great at puzzles. But yeah, Golden Sun. Next we have The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and 4 Swords. So this was the GBA remake of Link to the Past, which was on the SNES. I've never actually played the original. This was, the first time I played that game. And there's also the 4 Swords thing, but I can't really remember how it works. I don't think I've ever even done it. Like, I've played the GameCube 4 Swords Adventure, but this 4 Swords, I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, A Link to the Past, man, that was a great game. It was back when Zelda was still pretty much open world, which, it's going back to that now, but it's the open world 2D kind of Zelda, and that was a lot of fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like the current 3D Zelda games, even though they are not as open world at all, but it's just a different kind of a game, and I really enjoyed it. And specifically this one, switching between the regular world and the dark world was pretty cool. So that's Zelda: A Link to the Past and 4 Swords. Next up we have The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Actually really enjoyed this game. I know I don't remember a ton about this game, but I do remember, you have this hat that talks, and I know you can shrink and go into little holes and stuff like that. That's about all I can remember. But I do remember beating this and enjoying it. And by the way, every game I've shown so far, except Oracle of Ages, are games I've beaten, because, focus, please. Okay. But yeah, personally, I think the third generation was my least favorite generation. Not to say that it was bad, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as the rest. But yeah, as far as Ruby goes, I never actually finished this one. I got to the Elite Four, and then the battery died out, and I couldn't save anymore. So I know I couldn't change the battery, but I didn't know that at the time. So I have beaten the Omega Ruby, the remake of this. So I guess I've beaten this game pretty much, but I haven't beaten this specific version. I want to go back to do that, but yeah. Pokemon Ruby. Next up we have SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. This game was surprisingly actually pretty enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's a great game or anything like that, but it was fun to play. I don't like how you needed to write down codes if you wanted to go back to specific levels, and since you couldn't really save, I don't think you could, at least. But other than that, it was pretty fun. Now, because the next two games are in a box, I kind of forgot about them, but let's get them. So next we have, of course, Fire Emblem. If you've watched a few of my videos, you probably know that I'm a big Fire Emblem fan. I have every single North American release in box, of course, and I even have 3 of the Japanese only game. And this was my very, very first Fire Emblem game ever. And man, it was fun. I have so many good memories with this game. Just looking at it, I get excited. Because I liked it just that much. I've beaten it so many times too. I guess I can open it up. Oh wow. I even have the little baggie. I even have the baggie that the cartridge came in with. I don't know why I did that, because I was in 6th grade at that time, and I still wasn't really keeping boxes, let alone plastic tags. I'm not sure why I kept it, but I am not complaining. So, Fire Emblem. And of course, I'm sure you can predict what the next game is gonna be. And the last game, of course, Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. This game was fun. However, it was definitely one of my least favorite Fire Emblem. I really liked how after you beat the game, you could still keep playing your file and keep, grinding and leveling up your characters and recruiting, old bosses and villains and stuff like that. But other than that, I really disliked Erica, and the story wasn't my favorite. Let's just put it that way. But of course, even if it's one of my least favorite Fire Emblem game, it's still a Fire Emblem game, so it's a great game, in my opinion. I also really like the boxes. I think that's why I kept them, even at that time, because I thought they looked really cool.